Hello, welcome to 1997, Batman.com Ice to see you. Today we are looking at the Jungle Venom Poison Ivy figure from Kenner with Toxic Venom Spray Cannon and Entanglement Vines. This was one of only two Poison Ivy figures that they made for the Batman and Robin line. The other one was a 2-pack with Robin. This was the only one that you could get on its own. Let's have a look. As you can see from the face there, it's not a massively great Uma Thurman, although I was listening to a great podcast called The Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Aaron Archer is a toy designer who is at Kenner and worked on a lot of these figures, and he was talking about how actually the sculptor actually went to Uma Thurman's house and sat down with her and sculpted a model of her face, and just like spent a long time, and she talked all the way through it, and everyone kind of like signed off on this, but as you can see, it's really not a great Uma Thurman. It's just a very generic female face. What else can we say? Let's just take off the accessories and just have a quick look at the actual figure itself. As you can see, it's just in like a standard kind of just generic green. There's like a slight pearlescence on it, which, you know, gives it a bit of sheen and everything, but it is basically just a stock green. She's got high heels, which makes her a bit very wobbly to stand up. As if you can just see, as I catch it with the light, they have done some sort of like vines, kind of like almost like almost like ivy, climbing up her legs there, which is kind of cool. But weirdly, yeah, they just made it just a flat, and a little bit more around the neck there. Weirdly, they just made it a flat green, and weirdly, she's wearing boots, but it's almost like it goes from kind of green to black. Like there's not like an actual point where her boots start. They just sort of like fade into black, which is a bit weird. She's in this, like a lot of female Kenner figures. She's got her hips at kind of at an angle, and then she's got this kind of curved arm here, which is to hold this Jungle Venom cannon. So this is obviously the Venom stuff that she had in the in the film, also used in Bane. As you can see, it's just there's kind of a squishy bit here. So you just stick it in some water. I'm not going to do it now. You stick it in some water, you squeeze that, get a bit of water in, and then you can squirt it at your figures, which is kind of cool. This bit's kind of cool. So she's got this kind of like gauntlet here, kind of goes onto her arm. Her arm is just kind of like stretched out in a sort of like reaching out kind of pose. And then you've got these three vines here, which have little hooks on them. So what you can do, you can get your Robin figure, and you can recreate the bit in the movie where they all get tangled up in vines by kind of clicking the hooks onto each other, so that it sort of tangles him up like that, or whatever. So as you can see, not a fantastic Poison Ivy, but one of only two. I think the other one is maybe the better figure, because it uses a bit of like translucent green plastic, and it's just a bit more of an interesting figure. But this is kind of cool. I mean, I do like this accessory. It's very kind of girly, kind of pink. Obviously, female action figures back in the 90s were notorious for not selling well. So that was sort of the reason that Kenner only made a couple of these, despite the fact that Poison Ivy is basically one of the two or three major villains of the movie. It seems a bit of a shame that we didn't get a little bit more for her to do, but it was all mainly ice themed and Mr. Freeze and stuff. So I would still recommend this if you can get it. This one's pretty easy to get. They didn't sell particularly well back in the time. There's not a lot of accessories with it. Nothing's really going to break. But just don't expect it to stand up, because as with all female figures, it is very wobbly. So that is the Jungle Venom Poison Ivy. See you next time.